Hello, welcome. We're live. So the live date of this practice, because you might not be doing this practice when it's live, is Wednesday, 20th of March, 2024. It is ostara, it is the spring equinox. So I am very, very honored, very excited to be here to see in the astrological, the real, in my opinion, new year with you all. So I've purposely set this to come live just a minute or two early. So for the first couple of minutes, you don't need to worry about rushing onto your mat. You've got a little bit of time, just a couple of minutes to grab whatever you need. And I'll properly introduce the practice very, very soon. So bear with me. I'm just going to cleanse my space and then we'll get on into it, okay? So we can have it, those of you that are here already, you can start to have a little bit of a think about your intentions for this new year. As we know, we tend to do these big intention settings at the end of December, coming into January. And though that's lovely and so great, the winter season is very much our hibernation season. So it's really, really normal. People really struggle to stay on top of their intentions and their goals when we're in this winter season. Completely normal. If you think about what nature does at that time of year, nature is very much animals, wildlife in hibernation. And it's only now when spring is starting to come in that nature is abundant again. It's flowing, there is rebirth, there is new life. And that is exactly why now is a really good time, a really, really good time to just ground back into those intentions. So, what time are we on? I've got my team on standby to double check that YouTube isn't going to be glitchy like it sometimes is. So come on over to the chat and let me know where in the world you are. Let me know, and maybe you're doing this long after it's gone live, but still leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you are. I always love to see how far the reach of the online world is. The online world gets a lot of stick because it has its bad points, but it brings us together. If we literally just read the comments either on when we're on the Soul Sanctuary lives or when we're here on YouTube, it's so special just to see how far that reaches and how so many humans can come together over this mutual love of movement, of mindfulness, of wellness, and really wanting to ground back into the self. So I know that those of you on my time zone, so I'm in the UK, I know that probably some of you have got to get off to work soon. Hopefully you can kind of stay with us till the end. It's probably going to be, the practice itself will be about 30 minutes-ish, maybe a bit longer, and we're just going to ground in together at the start. Wow, look how many of you there are. This is insane. This is incredible. So cool. Happy New Year. Honestly, I woke up this morning and I was like, wow, like I genuinely feel like, and I don't know if it's because I knew I was coming on here live with you all, so I get super excited when I'm coming on lives anyway, but I just was like, okay, it's a restart, it's a reset, and I cannot wait for it. So I'm gonna go over onto my mat, and hopefully, I'm just going to check on those comments again, just check that everyone can hear me. Oh my gosh, we've got people in Australia, Italy, France. I know that there's a lot of people in the States that really wanted to be on this live, and I'm sorry, it's so hard to make a live practice work for every single time zone. But hopefully those of you that are in the States and you're doing this afterwards, we welcome you here and we're grateful for you being here. So let's just chat a little bit about the energy of this spring equinox, of this time, because it's really important that we know what's going on in this kind of, this Brahman, this like outer consciousness, so that we can affirm it back into Atman, the inner consciousness, the self consciousness. So we are, like I said, starting the spring. We're coming into the astrological new year. Well, we're in it. We have just hit into the astrological new year, and we're doing that in Aries. Now, some of you on this live will know a lot about astrology. Some of you may not. You may know about zodiacs from, what you are, where your moon sign, your rising sign, your sun sign are. I always recommend people doing that. But the Aries energy is the energy of action. It's the energy of doing. And that's why this particular equinox, this particular eclipse season that we're going into is really starting off with a bit of a bang, because it's coming into, we're not kind of slowly getting ourselves there. We're like, hi, we are here. We are reaffirming our intentions. We are resetting our goals, and we're going to go straight in. But obviously, as with everything, there's a shadow side. And the shadow side of that Aries energy can be to be doing so much and to be in a place of go, 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 that we're then avoiding slightly what it is that maybe is really going on underneath the surface. So it's really important that we're able to discern our dreams and our goals and our action towards doing those things. And maybe where we're kind of in a place of doing, but it's procrastination and it's almost kind of wasting time, if you like. We're human beings. Let's be compassionate with ourselves. We all procrastinate. We all waste a bit of time, and then we say we've got no time. It's human nature to do those things. But as we come into this new year, how can you maybe start to think about that rewiring and that rebirth of yourself? So let's get just sat into a comfortable seated position. I'm just going to check I've got no messages, which is always a good sign. No messages means that we are live and that it's going well. So let's just close down the eyes as we ground and sit here together. Take a couple of shoulder rolls going back, reaching the crown of the head all the way up to the sky. Spine is lengthening. And just settling into a really soft and gentle breath. Keeping those eyes closed, and just for a moment, just coming in to ask yourself, how do I feel? So this inwards check-in. How do I feel today, without needing to go into the narrative or any big story, any judgment, any shame, and just allow yourself to be the witness, to be the observer here. And maybe there was an intention you set months ago at the start of the year, and it could be that you've wandered from that path. That's okay, that's completely normal. Today could be the day that you reaffirm. Today could be the day where you realize that intention, that goal, whatever that was, that affirmation wasn't actually right for you. And today maybe you ground into something different. So just spending a few moments leaning into your intention, not only for this practice today, but for the week ahead, the months ahead, the year. We are, of course, like I mentioned, in our Aries fire energy. So we are going to open with a pranayama with breath of fire. So if you haven't done breath of fire before, it's a pumping exhale, the nose in, so it's all through the nose. The inhale will happen automatically. It can help if it's your first time to bring your hand to your belly, and it will look a little something like this. We'll take a half inhale. Okay, and we'll go for 50 pumps. If 50 is too much for you, doesn't matter, just stop whenever you're ready. We'll then take an inhale. We'll do a very gentle inhale at the retention at the top for maybe a count of 4, and then we'll fully exhale. Maybe drop the chin to the chest ever so slightly, Jalandhara Bandha, and we'll hold for about 10 or so. And we'll just do 2 rounds of that today to get ourselves into that beautiful Agni, that inner Agni fire energy. So setting yourself up, and we'll just take a nice big inhale here together. And then exhale, we let it go. And when you're ready, we'll start those pumping breaths. Inhale, little retention, full exhale, hold. Breathing whenever you need to and just coming back to a soft breath. And then we'll go for our second round, exactly the same again. Don't be too intense on the retention. Do just check in with what feels right for you, okay? Let's just take the releasing breath again. Then we go round 2. Inhale, little retention, full exhale, and then hold. Breathing whenever you need to. And then rolling those shoulders back. Just hands can be on the knees as you come back into just a gentle rhythm of the breath. Interlace the hands, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. And start to take some big circles here with the spine. Coming all the way around. And then back around the other way. And then releasing those hands all the way down, elbows coming first through cactus. And then hands drop down. You're going to roll yourself over onto all 4s. And we're just going to say hello to the spine. Today's practice is going to get a little spicy. What's really important is that we're always just honoring how it is that we feel, what we know is going to serve us. I'm going to be offering up a few slightly more challenging asanas with some options for modifications as well. So there's always going to be something. And just taking it in your stride, leaning into this new energy. How can I be even more loving to myself in this new chapter of springtime? A few more breaths, just saying hello to the spine. You can get deep, you can get super big here if that feels good. And then pushing yourself all the way up to a downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths as maybe you pedal through the feet, the knees, shaking the head, nodding the head. But really here, then grounding into stillness and having some time as you breathe into the backs of the legs. Strong through those shoulders as you really root down the foundations. So hands and feet, finding our earth. Finding those beautiful roots where we can blossom from. Slowly dropping the knees all the way down back to an all fours position. You're going to take the right leg out behind you. So right leg's coming out behind you, and then you're going to open that right hip, and you want to ground down through the left foot, because that's going to keep you balanced as you reach the right arm all the way up and over. So a little modified, kind of Vashisthasana, but not. Actually, more of a modified half moon. So holding here and just noticing in the stillness, the obliques, the glutes, the quads, everything having to just fire up gently, creating that soft bit of heat in the body, the flickering embers. Slowly releasing that right hand all the way down. This may be a little challenging, so you may want to come up to fingertips to create a bit of extra space here. You're going to draw this right knee all the way into the nose, and then see if you can place the right knee over the top of the left. Right hand places down, left arm is going to reach up to the sky. So it's like a pretzel twist. Holding here. Those left fingertips alive with energy. Thinking about that today, making sure toes and fingers have still got that prana running all the way through them. Slowly lowering left hand down. Remove the right hand back across. Squeeze the right knee into the nose. Holding here. So right knee into the nose, rounding through the spine. We hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Planting that right knee down. And you can just pad through the wrists a bit here. We're going to be doing quite a lot on the wrists today. So before we move into the other side, let's just move around a little bit here. Checking in with those wrists. You can sit back on the knees, have a little shake out. There will be the option when we're doing a few of our shapes on the wrists that you'll be able to take it down to the forearms. You'll just be a little less fluid in the movement because of the transitions. So coming back to an all fours position, let's take the left leg out long. Open the left hip. Maybe you move that right foot out ever so slightly, grounding down through the top of the right foot as you then open left hip and then reach the left arm all the way up and over. And we just want to breathe here into the stillness, noticing the beautiful little wobbles as we try to keep ourselves balanced here. Just recognizing which muscles are firing up and connecting to your breath. Another 2 breaths here. And then planting that left hand down. Squaring the hips, you're going to draw the left knee into the nose. Remember, you can come to fingertips if you need that little bit of extra space. And then cross the left knee in front of the right. From here, stepping the left hand towards the right slightly, opening up for that twist. So right arm up to the sky. Holding here. And your left hand can be on a block just to create a bit more space. And then slowly lowering that right hand back down, shifting the left hand back across. Left knee draws into the nose, round the spine. We hold for 5, actually 6, because we had an extra breath on the other side. Now 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Plant that left knee down. Again, sit back on the heels, have a little shake out through the wrists. Beautiful. And then we're going to make our way back into a downward facing dog. So just lifting the hips high up to the sky. Just grounding into 3 deep breaths here. Last breath. And then you're going to come up onto your tiptoes. Start to walk the toes, tippy toes, all the way to the top of the mat. Now, can you stay on your toes? Maybe you pop a block in front of you in order to stay on those toes, even if the knees have to be bent. Just a little balance challenge here today. And I know that this is super early in our practice, so it might be that the hamstrings aren't quite where they'd usually be, so just be mindful of that. Maybe, just maybe, you start to bring one hand and then the other hand behind either the heel of the feet or the calves, feeling into all of those beautiful wobbles, staying on the toes if you can, as you lift the upper body up and find an Utkatasana, but up on the toes. Taking another inhale here. And then exhale, come all the way up to standing. And just have a little hip shake, a little knee shake. I know. Good morning. Hello to that body. I told you we were going to get into that airy spring energy today. So let's take an inhale, reach the arms up again. Exhale, going to either keep the arms up by the ears, that's going to be a slightly harder variation, or bring the hands to heart center. You're going to halfway fold here. Much easier, or much just nicer for your lower spine, if the feet are hip width apart rather than being together. So feet hip width apart, using those lower back muscles, taking an inhale here. Exhale. Another breath in here. Exhale, bringing the hands to the heart space, staying in that halfway fold. Can you again see if you can lift up onto the toes? Another 2 breaths, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale. Exhale, toes plant down. Allow yourself to come all the way down to a fold. And then just maybe take opposite elbows. Release tension through the head, through the neck. Finding a little sway side to side. And then releasing those hands. Take an inhale as you lift the chest. Exhale, place the hands down. We're going to step ourselves straight back to a downward facing dog. Now, you can absolutely do this on all fours. You can also do it in dolphin, should you wish to be that person. Entirely up to you. You're going to sweep that right leg up to the sky, open the hips, and start to take 5 hip circles through your right leg, going in each direction. So 5 in each direction, so 10 in total. And then you're going to reach that right leg all the way up to the sky. You're going to inhale, shift the shoulders forwards, find high plank, and then open the right arm up to the sky, Vashisthasana, on the left arm. So you're supporting yourself on the left arm, right arm is up. You've got the option to modify here. You can drop that left knee down. Entirely up to you. You could also step that right foot over the top and just give yourself a bit of more support here. So from here, we'll take another breath. We're then going to lift that right leg, step the right foot all the way behind, wild thing. Hips and heart lifting high up into the sky. Now we're going to transition all the way round to fallen triangle. So we take the right hand down, we pick up the right foot, and then the right foot comes to the outside of the left hand. Open that left arm up by the ear. Breathing here. Now from here, you're going to bend into that left leg. So the back leg, you're going to bend into that left leg. See if you can get a nice little groin stretch. And then lengthening the left leg again. Holding here, still in your fallen triangle. And then we're going to bend that left leg again, come all the way down to seated. Now, where you've got your left knee bent up, we're going to take a little option for Astavakrasana, Crazy 8. Now, I'm aware that I'm not facing you. We'll be doing it by the bent leg being the one that you take all the way over. And then so it'll be left leg coming over left arm. Find a hook of the legs. Maybe you lift up and you find your arm balance. If this is not for you, I'm just going to turn around and face you. If Ashtavakras is not for you, you can either come into a side stretch with that left leg bent up, or you can just play around with lifting up and just seeing what happens and trying to find that momentum, okay? So try, like always, just to be a bit lighthearted with yourself. Nothing matters too much. When you've done your arm balance, you're going to come back to that same position where the right leg was out and the left leg was bent. You're going to reach your right arm all the way back to the top of the mat, come back to that fallen triangle. We're going to pivot from here all the way back around to wild thing. So left hand comes down, we pivot all the way up and over. I love that transition so much. Breathing here. And then you're going to pick up that right leg. Right leg's going to step towards the top of the mat. And we're going to find Ardha Chandrasana. So half moon here. Left arm reaching up to the sky. Your right hand can be on a block. Your left leg pushing out behind you. Feeling into all of those beautiful wobbles. Just see what's happening there for you. Staying with the breath. Another inhale. And then we'll exhale, place the hands down either side of that right foot. Step it all the way back through plank. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lowering yourself down through chaturanga or down through the knees. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Amazing, well done. And of course, every downward facing dog is an opportunity just to take the knees down or to come down into child's pose, whatever it is that you would like. Taking one more breath here. And then we'll sweep that left leg all the way up to the sky, bending that top knee. And we can start to work our way around in circles here. 5 going in each direction. Making them as big as you can. Coming to find that last one. And then reaching that left leg up to the sky. Take an inhale as you shift forwards, shoulders find plank. And then you stack that left foot onto the right. Left arm reaches up to the sky. We find Vashisthasana or any modified variation that is feeling better for you here. The right knee can come down, the left foot can come down. You can gaze up to those left fingertips. And then we're going to lift up that left leg, plant it down behind, finding wild thing. Hips and heart open to the sky here. One more breath before we make that transition all the way through to fallen triangle. Left hand comes down, and then that left foot steps to the outside of the right hand as we open that right arm up by the ear. You get this amazing sensation all the way down through the right side of the body, grounding down through that back foot. Holding here. And we can bend for that first time into that right leg. So the first one, we're not sitting down. Remember, we're just trying to get that really nice opening into the groin here. And then lengthen again. And then bend it all the way to come to sit on your bottom. And this time, of course, you can take that hook with the right leg over. I'm just going to alter the light, but this time it's your chance for Ashtavakrasana, crazy 8. So it's that right leg that's backpacking onto that right arm, finding that hook, and maybe bringing yourself over into a cheeky little arm balance today. Nothing little about it, is there? We say things like that. We don't mean it. So when you're done with your crazy 8, you're going to take that left hand back down at the top of the mat again. The right leg is still bent. We're going to push all the way up, lengthening through both legs, finding this fallen triangle. And then we've got that beautiful transition all the way from here. Right hand comes down and we pivot all the way up and over back to wild thing. Lifting heart up to the sky. And then you're going to gaze down towards the top of the mat. As you unravel yourself, this left foot starts to step all the way up. You find your block, maybe fingertips down, maybe balanced if you want. Ooh, right hand up to the sky, Ardha Chandrasana. Having that moment, finding the balance here. Nice big breaths into the whole body. One more breath here, inhale. And then exhale, slowly close the hands down. Step it all the way back through plank and make your way down through your flow, whether that's down through the knees, down through chaturanga. And then we'll make our way back to that downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, the option to come down into dolphin. And we're going to walk the feet in as far as we can. For dolphin here, rising up onto the toes. So on the toes in your dolphin, you're going to see if you can lift that left leg and just take a few little lifts up onto the toes. So you lower the heel down, you lift up. Doesn't matter how high that leg is. You're going to go for 5 of these. And then you're going to lower the left leg down and you're going to do it to the other side. So 5 of these. If you'd rather be in a child's pose right now, just honoring that decision and really just embracing those breaths there. Lowering the right leg down, taking a couple of breaths just in your dolphin. And then lowering all the way down to the knees. Come to sit back on the heels, rolling those shoulders back. You can interlace the hands behind the back here. Just take a little heart opener. Closing down the eyes. And then rounding, interlacing the arms in front of you as you push the palms away. Dropping chin down to the chest. And then coming all the way back. Okay, so it wouldn't be springtime without just one little thing. So we're going to come into some playful little bunny hops here, because guess what's born in the springtime? Bunnies and baby animals. So you can either do it. So for those of you that have a pretty advanced handstand practice, or even just a pretty advanced inversion practice, and you're feeling pretty strong, you can actually do your bunny hops from this position, and I'll show that to you. If you're kind of a little bit like, this isn't feeling so great for me, either take child's pose, or you're going to place the hands down. You're going to come into a shortened stance, downward facing dog. You're going to bend through the knees, and you're going to try and kick the bottom with the heels, okay? So that's all you're going to do. Just try to kick the bottom with the heels. If you can't get them there, that's just like the kind of direction you're heading. Those of you that are down here with me, I'm just going to alter this light again. Bear with me. So do a few bunny hops while I'm just making some adjustments to our lighting. It's tricky in this studio, doing lives first thing in the morning, because the sun is literally directly on me. So from here, you can take your bunny hops by placing the hands down either side of the knees and pushing up. It requires a lot on the arms in order to push up and to not take too much weight through the tops of the feet. So this could be your bunny hops today. And they are fiery. Fun but fiery is what I would call them. Amazing. So when you're done with your bunny hops, all you're going to do is swing your legs around and reach the legs out long in front of you. Amazing. You're going to bend the left leg over the top of the right. So left leg over the top of the right. And it's not up for a twist. It is like laying on top. Take an inhale as you lengthen here. And then exhale, folding over both legs. Closing down the eyes. You may want to take a block and place a block onto your knee if that's where your fold is, because that's just going to feel really nice and activating for the third eye, but also just a little bit more restorative than having your head hanging in the ether. Yeah, take 3 more breaths here. And then on an inhale, lifting yourself all the way up. You're going to bring your right hand down behind you, and then you're going to roll over onto this right hip so that the sole of your left foot can plant down. And then we're going to lift ourselves up. That left arm reaching all the way up and over. So a variation of Vashisthasana, but you get this added IT band and glute stretch with that leg over the top. Holding here. And then slowly lowering all the way down, unraveling yourself back through center, and we'll take those 2 shapes to the other side. So bending the right knee over the top of the left, taking an inhale. Exhaling as you fold. Reaching the crown of the head forwards again, placing a block between the leg and the forehead if you would like to. 3 more breaths here. Lifting all the way up. And then you're going to place that left hand down behind you. Roll onto the hip so that the right sole of the foot can plant down as you push up and reach that right arm all the way long. Another breath here, inhale. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Finding Navasana, so holding here, and you can hold behind the knees, and you can lift the feet up if you would like. So just finding that position. And we're just going to hold for 3 more breaths, finding some stillness here. And start to notice and witness as the practice starts to come to an end, as we start to slow things down, where does the thinking mind and the ego get even more involved? And how can we just breathe into that intention again? Where can we be more present in this practice and in this time that we've given ourselves? Taking 1 more inhale here. Either exhale and just hug the knees, or take a final flow. So bringing yourself forwards and hopping back, working down through chaturanga or down to the knees. Inhaling upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling downward facing dog. And then from your downward facing dog, those of you that took that flow, you can bring yourself down to seated any way that you would like to. And then we're all going to make our way down to the ground together in my favorite way. Reach the arms forwards, knees are bent. We're going to slowly lower down. Stay with the breath and see if you can smile with teeth. Seeing if you can match my pace. And we'll lift an inch, lower an inch, lower 1 more, lower another 1. Lift 2 inches, lift another 1, lower and lower and lower. Amazing. Swish those knees side to side. And we're just going to come into a little supine twist. So reaching the arms out into cactus or T-shape, whatever you've got space for. Shift the hips over to the right if that feels nice to get that little extra stretch, dropping the knees over to the left, and then you can take any variation with those knees that you would like to. Closing down the eyes here. Feeling nice, big, deep breaths all the way through the right side body. Again, just breathing into this moment right here and now. The rebirth, the reawakening of the season. The newness that this astrological year brings. All of the chances, the hope. How can we breathe into that and just feel into that presence as we finish our practice today? One more breath on this side. And then slowly bringing yourself back through center. Just realigning the hips. Take a breath in that neutral position. And then we'll take it over to the other side so you can shift your hips over to the left. And then knees drop over to the right. Maybe taking a little extra hook if that's something that you're working with. Closing down the eyes. Softening. Really softening into the breath. Notice where the body expands with the breath. Notice that with each exhale we create more space in the physical body, but so much more space in the energetic body and the emotional body as well. One more breath here. And then coming back through center, realigning those hips, hugging the knees into the chest, taking any final movement that your body may want before we drop into a final mini Shavasana. And please remember that Shavasana is probably the most important part of this practice. So the temptation to think, well, the physical's over now, I can just get up and do what I've got to do. Really try to challenge that idea and drop into your Shavasana, maybe placing a bolster underneath the knees, popping a blanket over you if you want to, closing down the eyes, palms of the hands facing upwards, just create space for the shoulders just to live and breathe a little more here, letting the feet drop open. And we'll just spend a short amount of time just breathing here, checking in with your breath. So just gentle inhales and exhales. You could take a body scan here as well. You could start to just notice each part of the body. Maybe for you, it's a chance just to reaffirm your intention, your offering into your body as we just sit in peace and in silence here. Gently bring your awareness back into a deeper breath. Always the invitation to stay in your Shavasana for a little longer. Maybe bringing some feeling back into the fingers, the toes, wiggling them around. And then rolling over to one side. This place right here, this being on your side, this is the literal place of the rebirth. And this happens at the end of every practice, not just at the end of a practice that celebrates the spring equinox. But in this moment, in this place, where can you just breathe into the here and now? Breathe into the trust that this is where you are meant to be. And that with every challenge, with every bit of bliss, with every bit of joy, with every bit of sadness, with grief, whatever is alive for you, it's all part of this human experience. It's all part of this journey. And whenever you're ready, you'll push yourself up to a seated position, keeping those eyes closed. Placing one hand on top of the other over the heart space. And we'll take a big releasing breath here together. Inhale. And let it go. Thank you. And namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you all for being here today. Before you all rush away, I do have a new 16-day course or challenge that is happening. It's called Awaken, and it starts on the 6th of April. I know I'm telling you this as soon as you've come out of a practice, but I know that many people will just be like, I'm gone. And I want to give you a chance to ask any questions if you want to ask any questions. Also, come on the chat. Let me know how you found that practice. I know that it was quite spicy in a short amount of time. But yeah, come on over the chat. Let me know how you found it. So my new challenge is called Awaken. It's 16 days of 16 practices, and it starts on the Soul Sanctuary on the 6th of April. So the Soul Sanctuary, I know a lot of you watching this are already Soul Sanctuary members, but a lot of you may not even know about the Soul Sanctuary. It's an app, it's a desktop platform, and it is a hub. It's basically a yoga, mindfulness, meditation app, and you can obviously do it on your desktop as well. You can obviously do it on iPads or whatever. There's over 700 classes now. So there's classes, majority of them are with me, but we have some incredible guest teachers. All of the classes throughout Awaken are with me. So it's 16 days of practices with me. They range from 15 minutes. So there's two 15-minute practices, and then all of the others are either 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and there's one 55-minute practice, which is like this incredible elemental mandala, and it's delicious. So I really, really recommend that you come and join us. If you sign up for Soul Sanctuary, there's the option of a 7-day free trial or a 14-day free trial. Obviously, all the links to everything will be left. I'm just going to have a little look at the, yay, amazing, amazing. Sorry, I'm getting all sidetracked because I'm looking at the comments now. But yeah, let me know as well if you're planning on joining the Awaken course. Tell me if you're excited for it. It is all about literally the energy that we've brought into the space today, this whole feeling of rebirth and renewal and finding our energy. That is what the whole Awaken course is about. It's literally called Awaken for a reason. We are reawakening the senses, the body. It's like a cleanse for the soul so that then we can come back into it. So that starts on the 6th of April. The first practice is a live practice on the Soul Sanctuary. But every live practice we do, if you can't do the live, it's recorded, and obviously it will get shared later that day. So everyone will have access to it. So the first practice is alive and the last practice is alive. And that's just lovely because it's a real nice way of having those accountable kind of like bookshelf moments. Bookshelf? No. What's when you like put book holders, either side of something. You know what I mean. So amazing to have everyone here together. I'm excited that people are excited for Awaken. If you have any questions, let me know. Also, we have had literally today a last minute dropout for the Crete retreat. So my Crete retreat is from the 19th of May. It's a 5-night retreat. So the 19th of May to the 24th. And that retreat sold out in literally like a couple of days, and we've just had someone pull out today. So if you want to take that space, it is in a twin room with a shared bathroom. You need to email us retreats@mysoulsanctuary.co. I will put or maybe Paula, if you're here, if you could put the link to the Crete retreat on here. We also have 2 spaces available on the Portugal retreat in September. It's in Carveiro. It's beautiful. It's right by the cliffs. It's going to be magical. Like, the space itself is huge. We've got like a designated shala. The rooms are all glorious and big. And we've got so much outside space with a huge swimming pool in Portugal. But the real bit of it for me, which is extra special, is how close we are to the cliffs. So everyone can go on daily hikes if they want to. We'll be planning a few hikes. So that's a 5-night retreat as well. So there's 1 space in Crete, 2 spaces in Portugal. We've got a wait list for the Dorset retreat, which is happening in, I think we don't know that we've sold that last dropout. So if you also want to go to Dorset, do email us, because I think that there may have been a very last minute dropout, but it also might be wait list. So don't trust what I say. What else? And then 2025 retreats. Very soon, I am going to be putting out a wait list, or like an interest sign up form for an April retreat in Nicaragua. It will be a 6-night retreat. Pricing will be the same as my Sri Lanka retreats. It will be a 6-night, and it will be a yoga retreat, and we'll have 2 days of surf. And for the surf, you can be a complete beginner. You can never have surfed before. Loads of people that come on my Sri Lanka retreat have never surfed before, and it's an incredible way. So that retreat isn't announced yet, but I want to gauge interest. It will be the first retreat that I've done so far away from the UK. And I know that there are loads of Soul Sanctuary members and people that practice with me over in America, Canada, on that side of the world. So I know that for them, it will be amazing to be a little bit closer, but obviously it's a little bit further for me. So I just want to gauge that interest first. So that will be April 2025. And I want to announce it soon to give people time to save. We'll have a payment plan. So you'll only have to pay the deposit to secure your space, and then you'll pay over basically the course of the year. So that's why I want to get that announced soon. So that is coming. What else can I tell you? If you have any questions, by the way, I will just come on over to the screen just to see if anyone does have any questions. Not just yet, so that's fine. But if you did have any questions about any of those things that I've mentioned, I know that to a lot of you that maybe have been Soul Sanctuary members or that watch my YouTube, you hear me talk about the Soul Sanctuary a lot, but there's always people that have never heard about it. Like, I receive messages on Instagram daily asking if there's anywhere that people can practice with me outside of YouTube. And I'm like, this blows my mind. I think I talk about it all the time. And people don't necessarily know about it. They might miss me talking about it. So yeah, the Soul Sanctuary, like I mentioned when I was saying Awaken, it's always there. We have new content every month with me and our amazing guest teachers. There's over 700 classes. Every January, we have Yoganuary. We have extra courses, which are like paid for courses. But there is so much to do outside of those courses that it's not, even though they're great, you can get so much from it. We have yoga philosophy, we have meditation, all different types of styles, and it's always growing. We are always bringing in new guest teachers, new styles, new classes. So yeah, it's very exciting. So I do recommend that you come and join the Soul Sanctuary if you haven't already. Obviously, I will be uploading this video to the Soul Sanctuary. So those of you that are watching this on the Soul Sanctuary, hey family, you're awesome. And I'm grateful for all of you, whether you practice with me on YouTube or you practice with me on the Soul Sanctuary. It means so much to me. And I am wishing you all an absolutely beautiful start to our new year, an absolutely beautiful spring equinox. Go and ground into your intentions for Ostara. Maybe you've got a little ritual that you would like to do today. Maybe there's a little letting go and a calling in ceremony. All of those things can be really powerful on a day like today. I really recommend journaling your kind of dreams, your goals, and just reaffirming those intentions. Like we said, it can be really, really powerful. So yeah, I am going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for being here again. Come join the Soul Sanctuary. And yeah, we do monthly lives as well on the Soul Sanctuary. So you get one of these every single month. Right. Lots and lots of love. Have a magical day. And I will hopefully see you on Soul Sanctuary. Bye-bye. Or see you on a retreat. Bye-bye.